Okay, well, welcome back to Parachum, chumming with the spirits. And speaking of Parachum, there he is to my left, the legend, the guzzling beer drinker, and a lot of fun when he gets effed up. How are we doing so far?
I'm doing great. I just got a big ass flight of beers.
He did. It is a big ass flight.
Yeah.
But it's, you can handle that.
I'm a big ass guy.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but I'll let you say that. And then we got the legend JD, who always keeps us on task. And he sounds pretty smart when he talks, so we're really appreciative that he's here.
Our dungeon master.
Dungeon Master JD. And then me,
call me Daddy.
Old guy. So here we are, man. We are in Wisconsin wrapping up. This is going to be our last recording before we hit the road. We're going to head back home tomorrow morning. And we've had a good time chasing the Beast of Bray Road, and I think you'll see in one of our segments what we think of that.
While chasing beers?
While chasing beers. No, we
better
can't
luck
say
with
that.
beers.
No, we just can't say that on TikTok.
Yeah, we can't say that on TikTok for sure.
There were no road beers involved.
None.
Road whiskey.
And the only guns you see are the ones we brought. Right here.
Mine are like landmine duds.
And so anyway, we're at
Mortar
this
duds.
wonderful brewery that allowed us to come and do this and drink their beers. And actually, it's been a really good experience here.
Yeah,
Duster Beck's Brewery. Amazing beers, amazing food, amazing people. Everybody's been so great.
Yeah, the people here made the trip.
We'll try to pick the camera up, and we're live in their brewery.
Yeah.
We'll pick the camera up when we're done. Kind of.
Give you a little tour.
What was it?
if you will.
1830.
I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry.
This farm's been here. It's on a established farm. This building, the building that we're in, is the barn. It's been rebuilt, but a lot of
1879?
Yeah, I think it was something-
1879.
Is it saying on your shirt? No.
No, bought this shirt, pretty snazzy. Thought we'd give back. So,
they have event centers here. They got a live band set up
Yeah.
area. Come out. They got great pizza, great food.
Yeah, the food's
amazing.
Great pretzels.
From water all the way up to whatever you fancy when it comes to a type of beer, from ciders, seltzers, beers.
cider, beer, whatever. It's fantastic because I'm not a beer guy, but I can drink this. So
Best soft pretzel I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, one of the best. And they source it locally for the
Yeah.
large pretzel. So, yeah, just such a great environment. So
Yeah.
glad. We came in and scouted it out the first night that we came in just to see how it is, and have not been disappointed yet.
Not at all. Not at all.
But they
Not,
also
not
got-
with Elkhorn.
Yeah. They got the aluminum cups, to reusable cups if you want to do that. They have merch like the shirt OG's wearing. So no, it's been a pleasure being here, and glad we got to do this.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure with you guys. You guys are saints, and had a good time.
We all have our flaws.
Yeah, I'm not a good navigator.
Somebody's riding in the back of the bus.
I'm waiting on for sure. But we're gonna do this one about Waverly Hills, right?
Yes, this is our next. We're hoping next investigation / location broadcast for the podcast. This was a very good learning curve for us.
Yes.
Coming out here, seeing how things go. What equipment we brought way more equipment than we actually needed. But it's better to have it and not use it versus need it and not have it.
Kind of like a Boy Scout. We did
Yes.
the Boy Scout thing, right?
So it was fun. We'll probably post-mortem it and talk about what we could have done better, what we could have not done,
Yeah.
and put that all towards Waverly Hills. Like we have we want to bring at least one person with us, if not more. But one of the main people, the Ghost of St. Louis, Juan.
St. Louis, Juan.
He said he's willing to go.
He said he's down.
The original fire starter.
He is the original fire starter. And the Dream Maker. We had a really nice run of series with the Spirit of St. Louis.
Yes,
himself,
I
right?
really, that was one of my favorite ones was, and he probably talked a whole 30 minutes in like 2 hours.
Yeah. for some reason, that's how he got in.
But I'm looking forward to being able to talk to him and do the investigations, and which that still leaves like 6 other people that possibly could be on the investigation, because you have up to 10 people on that particular investigation.
And we've invited a couple others.
Yeah. We'll wait to hear from
wait to hear
them.
back from them.
Probably not going to happen, but we can bring her lights. My wife said no.
Yeah.
My wife said no too. I'm not married, so
Well, yeah,
she
no,
said
there's-
no.
Yeah.
I
She's
asked her, and
supposed
she
to say
said no.
yes in the first time, but it didn't happen. So we're looking at doing the 8-hour investigation. We'll probably do a podcast afterwards.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, depends
not
on-
on location.
Before
Yeah.
and after, I would assume.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We probably do it before what we're going to talk about the day before, what
Yeah.
we're hoping, what we're
as we're excited, and the after
Yeah.
one as we're crying, sucking our
yeah,
thumbs.
the one after where we're all gray-haired and going, what in the world was that?
That was
Yeah.
wrong. You shouldn't have said that.
Okay, white-haired. We'll be white-haired.
White hair's what?
Huh? What?
Okay. I can't argue with that, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, some of us don't have far to go, so.
No? Somebody even covered up. I'm not going to point anybody out.
So,
Well,
Parachum, what do you know about Waverly Manor?
Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Sanatorium, whatever. I know it's one of the most haunted places in the United States for accounts of activity. One of the main things that it's known for is one of the only places in like the mainstream paranormal investigative venues that's known for an actual doppelganger haunting that people report on a consistent basis. Where, and I know someone who's actually investigated Waverly Hills, and it happened to them. They had a person in their group, a guy that wandered off on his own, like some people like to do. And sure as shit, not going to be me.
You'll be told to leave, but
Yeah.
go over there, Parachum, by yourself.
But it's set up in kind of a horseshoe orientation, and they remember him walking off on his own. And I don't have the exact specific details, so I may be butchering this. I apologize, but they went up onto another floor and saw him and started talking to him, and he wasn't answering them, thinking that he came up later and whatnot. He was still down on the previous floor investigating by himself on the other end of the building, but multiple people tried to communicate with him on a floor upstairs. That happens quite often. And then there's also the I'm not sure exactly what the name has been given to the entity, but the ceiling lurker or creeper or something in the body chute tunnel
Yeah, it's a shadowy creature
that crawls on the wall.
Well, and the sanatorium was a tuberculosis sanatorium, so it's horseshoe shaped. In the very front of it actually has open hallways.
Yep.
Because the idea was to let them breathe fresh, clean air. It was going to help them out. That was for the tuberculosis.
that,
Almost every major paranormal investigation group has gone there. I don't know of any that have gone there and said, "Oh, there's nothing there."
Yeah, no, I don't know a single person.
As for the doppelganger thing, I get told I have multiple people tell me they know me from somewhere else, so I'm like, that's not that big of a deal.
There is a...
I get that. I'm a everyday
There's
guy. Look,
pretty fucking big deal about it
yeah.
in the paranormal realm. I mean,
So,
I think it would have been a different story if he had encountered his own doppelganger.
That'd be the one I'd like to. That would be the
from my understanding,
bigger
if you,
phenomenon.
If you do that, that means you're dead. That you
Or
died.
you're going to die.
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to try to replace you.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it Lincoln that saw his doppelganger in the mirror before he was assassinated?
Well, I would see my doppelganger if I looked in the mirror.
No, like another person.
Behind him. Or
Oh,
something.
behind him.
Yeah.
And it looked
He
like
had a
him.
bunch of dreams about stuff. I don't know if that was one of them. You'd have
Well,
to
and
look
Mary
at one.
Lincoln Todd had dreams about him being killed as well.
Well, she did beg him not to go that night, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies with that night that just don't match up. Like him usually being escorted by personal security, and he didn't have any
Yeah,
of it.
that guy ended up not being at the door.
Yeah,
That's kind of weird. I mean, thinking about recent
having the bridge
assassination
opened
attempts. Yeah.
Well, I
when it
think
was usually closed
It
during.
changed how the presidents can interact with people since
Yeah.
then.
Oh, absolutely.
You do have bodyguards now, and so I think that changed a lot of history because of that event. because it's never been done before.
So let's go pull back into Waverly.
Yeah, let's go back
So
to
it's
Louisville.
it's in Louisville, Kentucky, roughly 8 to 9 hours away from where we're at in KC, which
Imagine
is about
that.
everything. And that's just a beautiful city. There's so much stuff there. You got the Kentucky Derby. What was it? Waterfield Downs, or I can't remember the whole name of it, but it's a pretty impressive site to go drive from. Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay is from there. Louisville
sour.
Slugger, I think it's probably a sour.
Yep.
But the Waverly Hills, though, is so famous. Like you said, they have regular tours, they have paranormal tours, they have investigations, and then they have a up to 10-person, 8-hour investigation. That's what we're hoping to do.
Well, and there used to be an even more notoriously haunted location, a small location, just down the road that's no longer there. Just recently got torn down, called Bobby Mackey's Music World.
I totally forgot how close that is.
They're just literally down the road from one another.
I didn't even think about that, yeah.
Like
Because that was one of the places, that was one of the bucket lists I wanted to do.
They just recently tore it down.
Well, I mean, so history on that one, they tore it down, but they're rebuilding a new building on the same spot.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the well and some areas museum-esque. Everything else is going to be brand new because it was an older building.
It was falling in.
Yeah, well, and they wanted to renovate it so they get more people there because it's a music venue. So number of seats. So that's why. I mean, I'll be honest. While we're there, that's just a place we should go by, and at least if they got it built, go in. If not, at least drive by.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit, if the building's there, I mean, I'll go sit in the rubble with my Ouija board and have fun.
And that's why we love Parachum. That's because he's totally got stuff attached.
That's why you love him. That's why I keep him at arm's distance.
Of course, he goes to your house, not mine. So
Yeah, that might be changing in the future. Yeah.
I'm always looking to meet new friends.
Well, you have them around you.
yeah.
You're just-
And, Waverly
just can't
Hills,
see them.
there's a lot of theories behind it, but I mean, because it was a tuberculosis sanatorium, there was a lot of deaths. Where the tunnel they were talking about, that's where they transported the bodies because people died, and they didn't want to take them in front of other people, so they were, But back then, tuberculosis was pretty much a death. It took years to kill you, but there was no cure.
And I could be wrong, but isn't Waverly Hills where on one of the floors they had the top floor, they had the open air area for the little kids to play, and supposedly a little kid named Timmy.
Well, I think there was a balcony area. but
Yeah.
I thought
Every floor has a balcony. If you look at the picture of them,
No, but this was like
like an open area on
an
the roof.
open no
There
roof.
might be.
And supposedly a little boy named Timmy haunts and likes to play ball with people.
I thought that was the one where also the nurse was pregnant.
Yes, I believe it's the same
Something with
place.
the elevator shaft. She hung herself in one of the most active rooms, if I remember that correctly, and
Yep.
she disposed of the baby somewhere. Yeah, so
Yeah, I believe that's the same location, but I could be wrong.
yeah, same here. You're more in tune with that stuff than I am.
I think it's just, I mean, it's just one of those places. Like I want to check it off a box. Like I've been there, even if nothing happens. It's historical. It's creepy. It sounds like a good time.
So so if y'all have been there, seen it, toured it, let us know. Let us hear what your experiences were.
Yeah, because we'd like to possibly have you call in while we're doing a podcast there and talk about your experiences.
Yeah, we'd like more information before we go in to know what to, not only to expect, but what to look for, and maybe what we need to do differently than what we normally do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you have suggestions for trigger items, trigger sounds. I'm pretty sure we're going to probably do a couple more episodes, and we'll probably watch some of the bigger name pair investigations and see how they did, what they saw, so we can have notes and be
I
kind of ready.
believe ghost hunters actually caught a shadow figure
Yeah.
in the tunnel, crawling on the ceiling or something like that.
So I'm trying to think of all the groups because I'm pretty sure Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventurers, and then
Ghost Lab was never there.
I don't think they went there, but I'm trying to think. There's another group that went there. I'm trying to think who it was. Like almost every major I think actually Most Haunted ended up going there
Yeah.
when they did the
Yeah.
American
Yeah,
tour.
the Expedition, Josh Gate.
Oh, that was the other one. Josh Gates, yeah.
Yeah, I just
They
remember
caught
seeing
stuff.
the Ghost Hunters evidence of the shadow figure in the tunnel chute room that was pretty impressive.
And, like you said, it's an 8-hour investigation. There's always a probability of just nothing coming up. But
Yeah, absolutely. But at least
we
we
got
can
a
say we went there.
parachurn that seems to attract this stuff. So I'm feeling pretty frisky about that one. I think we got a chance.
Well, the good part is that it stays with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, once
That's
attached,
the good
always
part. It
attached.
stays with me.
Well, yeah, that we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's going to go after you.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
We're just going to film it.
That's at the peanut butter store.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not legally able to talk about that at this point.
Yeah.
No, that ban's been lifted.
No peanut butter was involved in going after a beast on a brave road. It
So
was all in jest.
We had pictures.
yeah, I mean that's literally all I know about it.
Interesting. Well, we also have another, assuming the podcast, that'll be live maybe in December.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the one
Yeah, possibly January.
That's a very good point. Like we need to actually start prepping that one because it's literally in our backyard.
Less than an hour away.
Yeah.
For
and
us.
Should we talk about? Can we use names and all?
Yeah, absolutely. She's looking forward to us coming.
So we're looking forward to doing this one. You both. This is one of the places I have not investigated because somebody never invited me. Don't know who that could have been.
Why are you looking at me?
I hold a camera pretty well, evidently. But it's right up the road. You both have had activity there.
I've been there
Been there
probably
twice?
7 or 8 times, yeah, and every time hasn't disappointed. It's pretty phenomenal.
You're pretty easy to impress there now.
No,
now,
that's true.
OG though,
I fight it. I don't believe
shit,
anything
the first
until
time he
it's
went
100%.
there, he saw a full body apparition.
No. I saw a black mask move across the room into the wall.
And
Hair
the
Chum
same
sees
thing.
that in his apartment
No,
like
it's
every
not.
other week.
It was a black mass. It was not a bodily figure. It was a big blob of black just moved across the room. That was an apparition.
Like a figure.
It was not a figure.
It wasn't a figure shape.
It was a mass.
Okay.
So yeah,
It looked like cancer.
and someone else saw it with me, and for some reason we weren't filming it, and we had the camera right in our hand.
Yeah, that seems to be a theme
Well,
with us.
that flashlight in the basement falling out of nowhere.
Evidently, we had a flashlight in the dining room,
Ooh, we're gonna get into portals.
and
You know, it was weird.
somehow
That's a phenomenon.
we were down in the basement where obviously there's a lot of activity, and there's rumors that illegal abortions were happening in that basement. I can't confirm that. That was one of the stories I was told. I had a flashlight thrown at me. It was the exact same flashlight that was up on the table. That
So
I
on a different
thought he threw it at me.
Jason and I went there one time just when it had been renovated, so the basement was completely empty, and there were 2 chairs in one of the rooms, and we were like, let's sit down, like folding chairs. And he's like, I want to try an experiment. And he's like, I'm going to close my eyes and visualize what I'm seeing in the room, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool and whatnot. And then all of a sudden he starts telling me there's a black fuzzy ball mass under your chair that is attracted to you and wants to come home with you, and it's not a good thing. And I'm like, cool,
Gee, thanks for calling that up.
Like, why the hell did you have to tell me about
Yeah,
it? Like, just keep that shit to yourself.
And why do you hang out with people that do that?
Yeah.
He was just being honest.
Yeah. So we're not talking about a black mass that somebody else has seen. He's seen one in his head, and you have items teleporting from one floor to another floor.
Right.
Isn't there someplace that's also kind of famous near there?
Yeah, someplace that I think you really want to go to.
I mean, if we're going to do Bobby Mackey's, if it's near Waverly
let's
Hills.
does have a point.
Let's just stay at Mac and Turbella. So I originally was trying to buy that place. A friend of ours, Rick, he showed it to me, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'll buy that. So I was trying to get my finances ready with a realtor, and this lovely lady. I mean, she beat me to it, and she paid much less than what I would have paid for it.
Yeah, because we did the investigation, Spooks, with the previous owners living there, because they wanted to sell the house, but they wanted it to be attractive, so they asked us to film an episode there. And
You guys never released that, did you?
it's on YouTube.
Is it this Spooks investigation on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never seen
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
I never saw. But I can tell you, it's probably the most active place I've ever been.
Well, we caught two things there. One of them we didn't catch, but both Rick and I experienced it. But we were one of the other people that was with us had one of those SLS cams, the Connect thing.
Yeah.
And we were up in one of
figures.
the rooms, and all of a sudden he saw this on the SLS camera, this figure like dangling from the ceiling.
Oh, that's the room with the
Yeah,
person
well,
supposedly committed suicide. Oh, I'm not going to talk about
I was
something
going to get to that.
Oh, I didn't mean spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert! Don't listen to him.
Somebody talks really slow.
Okay. So
Big drinks really fast.
it's dangling there, and then all of a sudden it like drops a little bit, and its legs start to flail, and its head's gone, and then it just falls to the floor and disappears. And we're like, that's really weird. So we asked the homeowners, "Is like anything happened in here?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's the room where the guy hung himself to death." And then we started thinking about it, and like, well, that's kind of what we just saw when it dropped. Its head got separated, like it just hung itself. But there was another room just down the hall, the little one that has the kitchenette in it, just down the hall. When they were giving us the initial tour before we ever investigated it, she was telling us the story, and she showed us this clock on the wall in the kitchen area, and was saying that her mom always had problems with that clock. Like it would go off on its own, like and whatnot, and always be off or opened, and she was always having to go back in and like
Closing it.
So we did the investigation, came back and told them like we didn't have any problems with the clock, it was fine the whole time, and they were looking at us like, what clock? And Rick and I were like, the clock up in that kitchen, like we can go show you, and they're like, please do. We went up there and there was no clock there, and they told us there hasn't been a clock in that room for over like 20 or 30 years. And
So
we're
who
like,
told you that there was?
we're like, you guys showed it to us, opened it up, and told us how it worked. And they're like, we never did that.
Did you get footage?
So I went back and watched the B-roll and investigation of me walking through. I go into that room, but I never get to it stops.
Oh, so you don't have any
I
evidence?
don't have any evidence of it, but we were like, I think they're fudging us. Like,
That's not good. Yeah.
it was just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're very excited to have us. Hopefully, they'll be on the podcast talking with us beforehand and after.
She's
Not the original owners.
No,
The-
but
the lady
the
behind it.
current
Yeah,
owner,
she's
yes.
amazing.
Who's going to let us come in and do this
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah,
do
she's
the
a-
investigation.
Sweetheart. Yeah.
And she's probably the best person I've ever seen doing digital recordings.
Well, she's really good at EVPs
She's
and all that.
fantastic. I've never seen anyone better. She's absolutely amazing at it. What was that? No, I don't
I have no
know.
idea.
I've never seen one better than her.
Well, and that's like I said, I hadn't had a chance to go up there. I'm looking forward to meeting her. I'm looking forward to having her and just asking questions. Because I mean, if you own something like that, you have a greater chance of having more encounters, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And
And I've heard some of her EVPs.
We've had some amazing EVPs from her. Yeah. Well, she did it with us there. I'm like, and when she was gone for a little while, activity seemed to cease. And I go, is there any way you can hang out with us for a little longer, because it really seems to be wrapped around you. And she was good with that.
I just now realized, as sensitive as these microphones are, we might want to do a podcast in there. If she's got an EVPs, these mics are super sensitive.
Yeah.
We might be
We're
able to-
planning on recording inside, so. Yeah, you're right.
we're hoping for that early January.
Yeah.
Just waiting to hear back from her.
Yeah.
So,
It'll be good.
Yeah,
those are our next upcoming.
So sorry if you're
Videos.
looking for Sasquatches. Right now it's going to be the hauntings.
It's all about the paranormal.
Yeah, this was our cryptid of the year, Ray Road. So next year, there's a chance that we may do the Foggy Creek as well. They do a convention every year.
We can recreate our own little shitty video documentary of it.
I think we do that every
that's
time we
what
do a
we're doing now.
podcast.
No, like do step for step from the movie.
I'll be Mr. Johnson.
I'll be Bobby.
Let's be the old sheriff who fits.
But
You tell your mom.
and if you
I'll
guys-
be down there
anybody that watches
tomorrow
us-
morning.
let us know if you have any other suggestions, or like I said, we're in the greater Kansas City area, so I mean we could probably spend years just going through sites that are literally right down the road from us. I mean, because we had Atchison, Kansas, we had St. Joe,
The salt mines.
Salt Mines. Kansas City itself has a whole bunch of areas, and then you move over into what's the Missouri State Penitentiary? What's it?
That's only 3 hours away.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Kemper Military School.
yeah, and there's a bunch of battle sites because it's bloody Kansas. We could do investigations. Off subject, we did the Lost Scene massacre. We didn't catch anything that time around.
Yeah, I could take you guys out to show you the vampire.
Yeah, well, we went out there, but there's
There's no such thing.
wait until we go to New Orleans and say that.
I've been to New Orleans twice. There's no vampire.
Well, I'm sure there's things that suck down there.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, and I helped Ron out of that. Oh yeah, that was a story about me. Never mind.
So thanks for watching.
Already 30 minutes, huh?
That's
Time
crazy.
flies when we're talking about some fun stuff and having great beer
Good stuff.
from
So-
Booster's Beck's Brewery.
You guys, thanks for hanging out and listening to us.
Until next time.
Always like us, subscribe, make some comments, and we look for input and help us by subscribing. So thank you.
Dig in, be safe.
See you.